Okay, Dondozo will flinch this turn. They crit it with the Amoongus. That's not amazing. I actually think I want to click rest now because of that crit. It does nothing unless Dondozo wakes up, but this is not a super threatening board position. Unless they just keep critting forever. Okay, this one's going to be pretty simple. I think this video is going up on Wednesday, so it's the same team I used in yesterday's video that was used by a player named Victor Jimenez Cole to make top cut at the Europe International Championship. I said that I wanted to play a little bit more with this team, and I was talking about entering it in the Global Challenge, but I didn't do that. I used a different team for the Global Challenge. So instead, I've joined a Limitless tournament, just a small one tonight, hosted at Biff Pip's Battle Frontier, the Discord server that hosts multiple Limitless tournaments every week, where I played a bunch in Reg H and streamed it sometimes, but I haven't been playing so much in Reg G. But I found a team that I like, so I signed up tonight to see how I do with this in Best of 3 Open Team Sheet. That's it, that's what this video is. Okay, round 1 out of, I don't know how many, I haven't checked yet. This team looks sort of familiar, sort of not. It's coaching, let's do the team sheets. It's coaching Iron Valiant, so that could be tricky. But I do think I'll just lead Wheezing. It's just a question of Wheezing and what. I don't know that Wheezing Koraidon is a good lead here, but unless I'm playing Flutter Mane stuff. But if it's Flutter Mane, I probably don't want to weed Leasing. Also, they have the Amoongus. They can clear my Toxic Spikes. And actually, Wide Guard would stop Poison Gas, won't it? So maybe Weezing's not the best lead here. Maybe I should just do like Chiyu, Flutter Mane. They have answers to that too. I'm going to do Koraidon Weezing, because that was my first instinct. Dozogiri in the back. And if this is wrong, maybe I'll figure something out for game 2. But okay, they lead Koraidon and Flutter Mane. Of course, by giving myself the sun, I also give them the sun. But Photosynthesis, actually their abilities being turned off is still fine because they don't benefit from the sun. I mean, Koraidon's Flare Blitz will hit things harder, but otherwise, Photosynthesis and the attack boost from Orichalcum Pulse are still turned off. It is Focus Sash Flutter Mane, okay, that's good to know. I am worried about them just like Flare Blitzing Weezing. They actually don't have Shadow Ball on Flutter Mane, they only have Fairy attacks and Icy Wind, so that's something I have going for me. As much as I don't love Koraidon taking the damage here, I think I do have to Terrasilize, and I do have to break the Focus Sash, and I'll go for Poison Gas here. If I get to Poison Flutter Mane, then these two moves combined can knock it out. They close combat Koraidon for a lot of damage, but they don't get the KO. Flutter Mane knocked down to Sash. Koraidon does knock itself out there. That's not ideal, but we do land Poison Gas into both of their Pokemon. Flutter Mane's gone, Koraidon's on a timer. I get Dondozo now. Iron Valiant, but Dondozo will ignore coaching boosts, and of course it has the Rocky Helmet. And like in yesterday's video, I am running a ton of physical bulk on it. And it doesn't care about Spirit Break. So I could probably even just switch Tatsugiri in right now. And I can Earthquake. Even if they Wide Guard for that, they're still taking damage on Koraidon. But it might be better to just order up into Koraidon here, actually. Start setting Dondozo up. So I think I can do that. I don't know if Weezing will be useful in the back, but... Well, especially since I can't switch either of these Pokemon out. But I think it is time to just try to get Dondozo going. Okay, they protect Koraidon. That's fine. They can coach it, but again, Dondozo with Unaware will ignore the coaching. And Koraidon's taking poison damage. I'll try another order up here. That's weird. Did I not enter the move? Is it being weird about trapping? I don't know. That did 25% to Dondozo. That's not that insignificant. But Koraidon is taking so much residual damage and will be knocked out by the poison here. We got one attack boost on Dondozo. Their last Pokemon is Raging Bolt. Of course, I can't Terrasilize Dondozo. That's a little bit awkward. They don't have their Terra either, though, so I don't have to worry about the Bug Terra on this Raging Bolt. I guess I just click Order Up into it to cover for, again, for a Wide Guard. I don't think they know all the effects of Unaware, because that coaching is not going to do anything for Raging Bolt, but that Thunderbolt did too much damage. I might still lose, but Weezing should be able to 1v1 Iron Valiant. It's just a matter of getting rid of this Raging Bolt. But of course, hold on. They can Thunderclap Dondozo, but it won't work if I rest. They just Spirit Break, knock it out. Okay, that's a good call by them, and they'll knock out Tatsugiri here. Not quite. But still, that's probably enough for me to lose game 1. I'll just go Strange Steam into Raging Bolt. And honestly protect Tatsugiri, because they have multiple ways to knock Tatsugiri out if they want. It's definitely not getting an attack off this turn. But keeping it for next turn might be valuable if I do somehow get through this. But I think they'll just knock Weezing out and win. But I felt like I was pretty close there. Can I get away with not terastallizing Koraidon? Actually, yeah. I didn't really benefit at all from the Terra on Koraidon. So I needed to preserve it for Dondozo. And that, I think, would have won this game. Is it still possible to win? I don't know how much that Spirit Break does to Weezing. It might be possible to win. I'm going to Strange Steam. And I'm going to go for Muddy Water. Okay, they knock out Tatsugiri now, but that's a turn they're not attacking Weezing. Missing Strange Steam is pretty bad here. Spirit Break does... Ooh, okay, one more will KO. And they get the special attack drop, because of course that's guaranteed. I still could have won with Confusion, but... Or if I'd won that... If I'd hit that first Strange Steam, I would have won. But I think if I just run that mode back in Game 2... But... This time I save the Terra for Dondozo. That probably alone would have made the difference here. Of course, they can make an adjustment. I don't know what that would be. But they lead Koraidon Fluttermane again, okay. Oh, but the reason I just remembered, the reason I can't just save the Terra for Dondozo here is because I can't have Koraidon just being knocked out by Fluttermane, right? Koraidon and Fluttermane are... It's max speed. I'm running max speed Koraidon, so worst case Koraidon and Fluttermane are speed tying. I'm actually gonna gamble on that. Am I gonna gamble on that? If I just hit that first Strange Steam last game, I could have won. I'm gonna gamble. Whatever, it's content. Yep, I'm just gonna... I'm actually gonna Toxic Spikes this time instead of Poison Gas. Okay, good. If it was a speed tie, Koraidon won it. Flame Charge into Weezing for a lot of damage, but... Yeah, Toxic Spikes this time so that if it's Raging Bolt in the back with no Amoonguss again, I can poison that. I think that's more valuable than poisoning... except I haven't removed the Fluttermane this time. That might have been a mistake. Well, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to protect Koraidon. I'm going to Poison Gas now. This can knock out Fluttermane if they let me. Weezing does take that resisted Moonblast. This is where not having Shadow Ball hurts them a bit, but I do miss the Poison Gas. Weezing has now missed a couple of important moves in this game, so we don't love to see that. I'm going to try to preserve Koraidon, and I'm actually just going to go full Tatsugiri right now, I think. Get the special defense boosts and hope Dondozo can stand up to Fluttermane's attacks, but that does make my position a little bit more troublesome. I probably should have clicked Poison Gas on that first turn instead of Toxic Spikes. I probably overthought that. But also, if I'd landed that Poison Gas when I did use it, it would have been a different story for the Fluttermane. The Dazzling Gleam doesn't do very much to Dondozo, so that's something. And I'm down to Earthquake here. If anything switches in. But Dondozo is just getting worn down so quickly now. It'll take the Moonblast, but yeah, it's not taking much more than that. So I've played this one wrong. I was close in I was close in game 1, and if I'd just done the same stuff again, they did bring the same Pokemon, probably would have worked out. It might still be possible. I mean, I still have all 4 of my Pokemon. Obviously, I can't switch here, so I'm just gonna... And the Terra Electric Dondozo isn't worth it at this point. I'm gonna click Rest, but they're gonna knock it out, of course. And then they'll do big damage to Tatsugiri, but it shouldn't KO, as we saw that last game. But they're gonna go ahead and crit. Okay. Alright. So it goes sometimes. And I just have weakened Weezing and Koraidon, and I don't think they're pulling this one back, but if they are, it starts with a Terrafire Dragon Claw into the Raging Bolt. Have they terrestrialized? I think they have. Yes, so they can't Terra Bug. Dragon Claw should knock that out. I'll I don't think they'll let me, but I'll try... No, I'm going to protect Weezing. Once again, I'm trying to get to a 2 versus 1 so that it's hard for the Iron Valiant to close this out because there are just too many targets for it to attack. But yeah, Terrafire... I guess I could just Thunderclap me, but... You know, I'm playing to the outs that I can find here. If I can knock out the Raging Bolt and have 2 Pokemon against Iron Valiant, it's probably still possible. They do think of the Thunderclap, but Koraidon then knocks out Raging Bolt. But Weezing is... Yeah, okay. I guess I needed to Strange Steam the Iron Valiant this turn. Weezing is still not clutching this endgame. No, there's just no way. That's a really rough start to the tournament. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy this set very much, but that's how it goes sometimes, and there's still however many more. But yep, 0-1 start tonight. Round 2 out of what looks like 5 rounds of Swiss. A Miraidon team this time. By the way, I'm the only Dozogiri player tonight, so anyone else playing is probably happy I lost round 1. Anyway, we got an Iron Boulder here. Just waiting for them to accept open team sheets, of course. But, oh, there it is. Iron Boulder. So, Terra Electric Dondozo should go pretty crazy here, right? I think. What's the Urshifu? Single strike? Okay, Terra Electric Dondozo doesn't love being crit, but I don't see an ability shield on that Miraidon. What is stopping me from just doing this with Tatsugiri at the end? I am actually going to pause and think about it a tiny bit, but no, I think I'm down. Let's just do it, at least for game 1. Koraidon, Weezing, Dozogiri. Koraidon should put in a ton of work against almost anything here. The Grimmsnarl could be annoying, actually. Well, except I won't have Prankster active. Weezing is such a weird Pokemon. It warps your thinking in so many different ways. Like, I get Terrestrialize Koraidon here. I don't even think I have to, necessarily. Can I not just, like, close combat Miraidon? I don't have anything that wants to switch in on that. They don't even Electric Terrain up, so they won't even get the Electric Seed on the Farigiraf. I am potentially leaving Koraidon open to a Spirit Break, but I can Terrestrialize it if I want. And then either Toxic Spikes or I just Strange Steam Grimmsnarl, but I think I Toxic Spikes. Do I Terrestrialize Koraidon here? I'm going to say no, because the Electric Dondozo could be valuable later. Ooh, Terra Fairy. Also, I don't have Close Combat, I have Collision Course. Okay, I threw Koraidon away. But I get Toxic Spikes. Miraidon locked into Dazzling Gleam. It is choice locked. That said, I might want to Terra Electric the Dondozo anyway, just so that it can't be Thunderwaved. And also, I mean, what else am I doing with it right now? They have 2 Fairy types on the board, so I'm not clicking Order Up into anything. I was going to say I'm going to protect Dondozo, but Dondozo, of course, doesn't have Protect on this team, which is one thing that I don't like about this team. The Dondozo doesn't have Protect, but I guess it just doesn't have room for it. Alright. I'll probably Terra Electric Dondozo, but I don't need to do it immediately. I'll just Earthquake and bring in Tatsugiri, I guess. It's fine, right? It's fine. I'll probably even Terra in front of this Ogre Pawn. Oh, I should have actually Terra'd now because of the Thunder Wave threat, but I'll probably Terra in front of this Ogre Pawn. So I'm not taking a super effective... Nice, I tried to Spirit Break the Weezing. I'm not taking a super effective Horn Leech. Horn Leech is not as scary as Woodhammer, but even so. Now I also have I'm covered for the Thunder Wave, and I'll just start going for Order Up. Yep, they actually missed the Thunder Wave. Well, maybe it just represented that way. It is expressed as a miss, but Dondozo is immune now anyway. And yeah, that Order Up doesn't do very much. That's why I need the setup where I can get it. They can switch Miraidon in. Maybe I should just Earthquake here. Yeah, I'll Earthquake to cover for a Miraidon. That did so much damage. Oh no. Well, Ogre Pawn will go down here, but do I lose to Miraidon now? They get their terrain up and everything. I'll try to rest. Hopefully I got the chance. Ooh, we live on 2% and Electro Drift, even though it's special. Oh, it's... I'm playing so badly tonight. I just Earthquaked there. Playing so badly. Okay. Well... try to knock out the Miraidon if we can. I'll protect Tatsugiri, but I don't think they're going to attack it. I think they'll attack Weezing. Oh, I'm wrong. They attack Tatsugiri. There's a chance? No. That doesn't do enough through the light screen. Protect Weezing. Muddy Water. That rest was such a throw. But Electric terrain prevents all sleep, even if you want it. Okay, double protect. Nope. Game 2. I don't have to bring Dondozo in game 2. I might be better off bringing the Chi-Yu Flutter Mane stuff. I think I will. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to switch anything up here, but Rhydon Wheezing, but now I have Chi-Yu and Flutter Mane in the back. Okay, it's Grimmsnarl. No reason not to Terrasilize the Koraidon this time. And I'm just going to try to get rid of this Grimmsnarl as quickly as possible, because the screens are annoying. And if I go for Toxic Spikes here, I can potentially, you know, make Miraidon's life difficult if it wants to pivot around. So Grimmsnarl knocked out turn 1. Dazzling Gleam doesn't do a ton into 2 resistances, and without the Hadron Engine boost. They can go Urshifu. Do they have Sucker Punch? They do. Well, I'm gonna call a Sucker Punch, and I'm gonna go for Strange Steam into Urshifu. No Sucker Punch. Okay, got that wrong. But they Wicked Blow Wheezing. Everybody's throwing all these resisted attacks at Galarian Wheezing. So we do get rid of the Urshifu, thanks to the Toxic Spikes. And what's their last Pokemon? It's Iron Boulder. But I should be able to beat that with my Pokemon in the back, right? Especially if I can get rid of this Miraidon right now. Of course it can't protect, it's Choice Locked. Yeah, I'm down to just Strange Steam. Iron Boulder, they probably won't let me, but because I really seem to want to remove Wheezing. Koraidon knocks itself out here. Wheezing will drop to Mighty Cleave, but they never got Electric Terrain up in this game, and I have these two in the back in Sun. They get to have their abilities now that Wheezing is gone, so this is more like it for this team, right? This is the kind of game you want to see. They already Terra'd, so just Shadow Ball and Dark Pulse. That was a much cleaner one than any of the others so far tonight. Do I just run it back with the same mode? Chi-Yu and Flutter Mane, especially if Koraidon has done some damage already, are actually really strong in this matchup. And as much as I liked the Terra Electric Dondozo on paper into Miraidon, I didn't actually like it as much in practice. So I'm just going to run back the same mode for better or for worse, and we'll see what adjustments they come up with. If I see a Grimmsnarl, I'm going to try to knock it out turn 1 again. I don't know if they'll let me this time. Well, no, they didn't even lead it. They also didn't accept open team sheets. They probably just forgot. It's no big deal, but what does... Not used to seeing this scene, are you? This page. What does the Iron Boulder have? Life Orb, Mighty Cut, Psycho Cleave, Sacred Sword. Okay. I'm just gonna yeah, I'm just gonna Flare Blitz the Miraidon. They've Terrastalized it turn 1 every game. And Toxic Spikes. Ooh, they switched it out. But now Farigiraf gets to eat this Flare Blitz. Oh, it actually survives. Okay. That's huge for it. Ah, they knocked Koraidon out back. That's the next thing they do is knock Koraidon out. That's not great for me. Iron Boulder is guaranteed slower than Flutter Mane, even with Wheezing on the board. So I can go Flutter Mane here. It is Specs, but so am I really okay with locking into Shadow Ball? I think I'm going to have to be. And I'll go for the Strange Steam into Farigiraf and see if I can actually connect this time. I've hit some Strange Steams tonight. It also just doesn't do very much damage, but... Okay, Iron Boulder's knocked out. Farigiraf is knocked out. Nice. They got Urshifu and Miraidon. Flutter Mane and Miraidon is a speed tie at worst. Flutter Mane is locked into Shadow Ball, though. I think it might be best that I switch Chi-Yu in, potentially sacking it, and I try to get Strange Steam into Urshifu. If I land this Strange Steam, I can knock Urshifu out. They went for Sucker Punch into Flutter Mane. Wheezing survives because they don't have Electric Terrain up. It takes an Electro Drift. That's huge. Urshifu drops, and Flutter Mane should be able to beat Miraidon from here. I also have Scarf Chi-Yu. I can just overheat it. Maybe I should Heat Wave for the accuracy. Same accuracy, actually. Never mind. I'll just overheat, and I'll protect Wheezing. Overheat connects, and there we go. Game 1 was rough, and so was all of round 1, but we're now 1-1 in this tournament with, I believe, 3 rounds of Swiss to go, and this was a better showcase, I think, than anything I did in the laddering video of what Fluttermane and Chiyu bring to this team. So, yeah, that Game 1 was rough. I kind of threw that, but now we're having fun. Round 3. World's winning Miraidon, more or less. The Whimsicott has Taunt instead of Encore, which is potentially interesting if I want to bring Dondozo to this one. I'm not... It's also Rapid Strike or Shifu. I'm not as convinced by Fluttermane and Chiyu this time. They might work, but Iron Hands is a bulky guy, and Rapid Strike or Shifu is potentially a problem for them. So I think I'm going back to the Dozo stuff at least for game 1, even though it hasn't worked yet tonight. Maybe this is when it does. I don't think it's a bad mode. It'll probably work at some point. I probably just need to play it better. I've definitely made some throws. And Weezing has missed some moves, but that happens. But yeah, we're going back to that for game 1 at least. Oh. I didn't know you could do that. Oops. Good thing that didn't kick me out of the game. Alright, Whimsicott, Ogerpon lead. That makes me feel pretty good to just Flare Blitz the Whimsicott. I don't even feel like I have to Terastallize, because you're never going to Moonblast me if you're just knocked out, right? So I think I can just Flare Blitz Whimsicott and Toxic Spikes. They probably have some kind of counterplay, but nope. Didn't see it here. Ivy Cudgel into Weezing. It does a lot. It does a lot. That's not, you know, that's not ideal, but Koraidon just took a KO there. Urshifu's poisoned. There goes its Focus Sash. Which is more important to remove, Ogerpon or Urshifu? I think probably Ogerpon. Right? Because I think that's more threatening to Dondozo in the back. That said, they could Spiky Shield. I'm just going to double protect this turn. There's not really any downside. They don't have Unseen Fist active. I guess it kills a turn of Sun. I guess that's a downside, but they didn't Spiky Shield. But I'm going to call that they seem to really want to attack with Ogerpon, and I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to Flare Blitz it anyway, and see if I can get a Strange Steam into Urshifu. They Aqua Jet, but Koraidon's still not Terastallizing. I'm saving that for Dondozo in case I face Miraidon in the back, which I think I probably will. Strange Steam does a lot to Urshifu. The Poison's going to finish it off, and their last Pokemon is Miraidon. And yeah, I still have the Terra Electric Dondozo available to deal with that. But for now, I'm just going to go for Dragon. They haven't Terra'd, right? I'm just going to go for Flare Blitz and Strange Steam. And they knock out Koraidon with an Electro Drift, but looks like the game does end here. Life Orb damage, Strange Steam gets the KO. Nice. I didn't even have to show Dozogiri in the back, so I think I'm just going to bring the same stuff to game 2. You know, I'll make them prove that they have a Koraidon answer, because I didn't see it in that game. Yep. And then Dozogiri. And again, I want to save the Terra for Dondozo if I can. But things could change, right? If I get rid of the Miraidon quickly, which wasn't doable in Game 1 with the way they played it, but hypothetically, if that happens, then I don't have to worry as much about Terastallizing Dondozo, potentially. They do lead Miraidon this time with Ogerpon. They might just double target Weezing, because they have a lot of incentive to get rid of that Pokemon quickly. They saw it take an Ivy Cudgel in Game 1, so I think I can pretty safely Flare Blitz Ogerpon and go for Toxic Spikes here. Oh, they Terastallized the Ogerpon. I didn't account for that. Okay, that's I messed up there. But they didn't, well, they might still KO Weezing. Okay, it doesn't KO. But I am now, unfortunately, stuck in a position where I have to ask a lot of Dondozo once again. Although Miraidon locked into Draco Meteor, so I don't have to Terastallize Dondozo yet. That much is good. So let's try to get Dondozo going. This does give Ogerpon that attack boost. Weezing is such a weird Pokemon, whether you're using it or fighting it. There's so much... Oh, it's not Specs Miraidon. I didn't notice that. Whoops. Silly me. Not Specs Miraidon. But it is still at -2 special attack. Again, they don't have... Okay, it's Urshifu. I was going to say they don't have Encore on the Whimsicott, but they do have Taunt. I'm going to try to rest here. If they bring Whimsicott in later... I don't think they brought Whimsicott to this game, the way they're playing right now. But yeah, I don't want to be shut out from rest when I really need it. -2 Volt Switch still KOs Dondozo. Guess I needed to Terastallize, but how am I taking Surging Strikes if I do? Okay, so this one's not going to work out. But I probably do bring Chi-Yu Flutter Mane in Game 3 then. I think that switch up could be beneficial here. Yeah. So they'll just knock out Weezing with something. Doesn't really matter what. It's Fake Out. That's, you know, I'll give them style points for that. And I am 100% for Game 3 going... I don't think there's any lead into their Miraidon lead that I could lead Flutter Mane Koraidon, actually. I was going to say there's nothing that I want more than Koraidon Weezing. I could lead Flutter Mane Koraidon, but no, I think I stick to Koraidon Weezing. But now that I don't have Dondozo in the back, I'm more willing to Terastallize Koraidon. And it's Chi-Yu Flutter Mane in the back this time. Okay, Ogerpon, Miraidon again. Last game they Terastallized Ogerpon turn 1. I can just double protect and scout them, really, right? Like, yeah, I can just double protect and scout them turn 1. And Weezing can take 1 hit from these Pokemon. We know that, I think. I don't know for sure if Weezing takes an Electro Drift, but we are outside of terrain, and it's Life Orb, not Specs. Okay, they just go for that Draco Meteor into Koraidon again. I could, if I'm feeling bold, go for like a Flutter Mane switch in, but I don't think I'm feeling that bold. Let's Terra. Collision Course Ogre. Is Miraidon more important to remove? I'm just worried about the Miraidon Terastallizing, because now that I've scouted and they didn't use their Terra, it's a pretty easy thing for them to surprise me with now, so I'll Flare Blitz the Ogerpon, and I'll go for Toxic Spikes. I thought the Miraidon would Terra, it didn't. But they also didn't Terra Ogerpon, so the Flare Blitz... I mean, I'm trading Koraidon for Ogerpon. It's not great, but it's not the worst. And I think I just go straight to Flutter Mane here, and I start clicking that Choice Specs Moonblast. They have max speed Miraidon. I might have to switch Weezing out. Yeah. Yeah, we switch Weezing out. Hopefully not sacking Chi-Yu, but I need Flutter Mane to be faster than Miraidon. If they Terra here, I'm probably going to be sad. They don't. Miraidon goes down. That's good. It's Urshifu and Iron Hands. They can Aqua Jet, but we're still in the sun. Iron Hands has an Assault Vest, so it definitely doesn't have Protect. It doesn't have Heavy Slam either, but Wild Charge is going to hurt Flutter Mane. I think I just Moonblast Iron Hands, and I'll overheat that slot as well. And then either I knock Iron Hands out with... You know what I mean. Yeah, if that didn't knock Iron Hands out, then I would close it out with the overheat. But we do get the overheat into Urshifu, and Urshifu will drop the poison damage. So game 1 went extremely well there. Game 2 was rough, but once again, the Flutter Mane Chi-Yu mode in the back, closing things out pretty nicely. But GG's to this opponent. You definitely did make me work for it. And that's 2-1 now with, I think, 2 rounds of Swiss still to go. Round 4, and my opponent is undefeated so far tonight with Zacian. Terra Ground Zacian, of course, so let's try to change that. Stop me if you've heard this one, but I think Dondozo is probably pretty good here, especially with Sleep Talk. Terra Electric, Sleep Talk, Dondozo. I think, you know, the funny thing is, Terra Ground Zacian is kind of a problem for Terra Electric Dondozo, actually. It could be tricky, but they have rain as well. They have manual rain, and they have the ground Terra Blast. I don't love the specs Fluttermane and the Scarf Chiyu here. Alright, we're gonna do our thing in game 1, and hopefully it'll go better than it has before, and if it doesn't, try to figure something out. So, So I can just attack this Tornadus and try to deny their Rain Dance or Taunt. They don't have Prankster active while Weezing's on the board. Actually, I can't do that because they have Fake Out Pressure with Incineroar. But you know what? Hey, let's make them prove it. Toxic Spikes are not that appealing, actually, when they have Amoonguss and Zacian. Probably at least one of those in the back. So I'm just going to Poison Gas instead. Okay. Yeah, they can turn my Sun off. Oh, they taunt Weezing. Okay, so I accomplished nothing this turn, but they don't get Rain Up. I can Flare Blitz Tornadus now, and not that much is different. And I guess I'll just try to chip the Incineroar. Because if they switch Tornadus out... Actually, hold on. There's kind of a pin here, right? Because if they switch... Tornadus doesn't have Protect. And if they switch it out... It's either a Fire weakness or a Fairy weakness. So I'll double target that slot. Terra Bug, Incineroar. Cool. But yeah, do just knock out Tornadus after all. I think Parting Shoot, Koraidon. That means somebody else is taking a Strange Steam. Okay, it's Zacian. Won't do much. Could confuse. It doesn't. Could have. Okay, they can Thunderclap Koraidon, but of course it resists. They can Play Rough Koraidon, but I think I am down to just go for a Flare Blitz into Zacian, get what damage I can do to that Pokemon. And again, look to win the game with Terra Electric Dondozo, and I'll go Strange Steam into Zacian as well. The damage could matter. Look at Weezing tanking that Behemoth Blade. Of course, it doesn't have Intrepid Sword active. Weezing is such a disruptive Pokemon. It's really something to play with. They will get Intimidate now, and unfortunately, they'll get that into... Yeah, I have to bring Dondozo in here instead of Tatsugiri because, you know, I don't want to let it take a Thunderbolt on Switch In when I can't even Terrasilize it. But I will go straight to Tatsugiri here. I will Terra Electric Dondozo. Even if it takes a Fake Out, it'll then resist the Electric Attack coming out, and I'll just go for an Order Up into Raging Bolt. Incineroar resists Earthquake. Might as well get the attack boost instead of trying to cover both of these in one go. There's the Fake Out. I don't want to Protect on Dondozo. It crits. Okay, sure. But that Electro Web is not doing very much. They have Draco Meteor. They do. Okay. Well, we're just going to have to deal with that. As Dondozo quickly loses those speed boosts. They have Will-O-Wisp on Incineroar. I didn't even check that. I feel like I'm saying I didn't even check that too often tonight. Probably speaks in some way to how I'm playing. That said, even if they land the Will-O-Wisp, I do then have Rest on Dondozo. In fact, I can Rest right now, actually. And that is kind of a nice thing to do in the face of that Draco Meteor. We'll get rid of the burn, we'll get rid of the damage. If I roll either attack with Sleep Talk, that's pretty good for me. They'll try to crit with Draco Meteor, and it might work out for them. It really might. What does Sleep Talk give me? Earthquake? Okay, doesn't quite KO Raging Bolt, but still nice damage. Go for another Sleep Talk. Okay, Dondozo, I need you to attack Raging Bolt. Actually, I probably don't. Okay, we get Order Up into Raging Bolt, so that's a little bit lucky. I probably could have won anyway, but yeah, a little bit of fortune there. I'll just go for Rest. There's not really any reason not to. And one way or another, we'll close out this Incineroar now. Even if Dondozo rolls Rest twice in a row, it'll wake up and then it can knock out Incineroar. Or Tatsugiri can do it, or Koraidon. Okay, that went pretty well. The Dondozo mode finally worked out very nicely there. Can I do the same kind of thing again? Or should I do something different? Is it even time to break up the 2-2-2 here? I could lead Koraidon Chiyu. But I like the Koraidon Weezing lead here. I mean, I'm spamming it a lot, obviously, but I like it in this matchup specifically because it turns off that Prankster on the Tornadus. So I'm just going to run the same mode back in Game 2, and if it doesn't work, then maybe in Game 3 we think about the Flutter Mane or something. Okay, once again, you know what? I'm actually going to go for Toxic Spikes, because if it's Raging Bolt in the back again, voicing that could be nice. I'll go straight for Flare Blitz into Tornadus and Toxic Spikes. They can Fake Out, they can Taunt, they can Rain Dance. We'll make them show me which one it is. Or which ones, plural. Yeah, they get their Rain. So that's not ideal, right? I might even want to switch Koraidon out here. Yeah, because they can Bleak Wind it now. But, I mean, Dondozo switches in pretty safely, I think. And I'm down to click Poison Gas here, poison as many things as I can. If they brought a Moongus, then those Toxic Spikes don't really accomplish a whole lot, but they didn't bring a Moongus to Game 1, so, again, we'll make them prove it if they did. Dondozo took a lot from that Bleak Wind, of course it's unboosted. It does get burned, but I think I cannot pretty safely switch. I was going to say I can pretty safely switch Tatsugiri in and click Rest. I cannot because I haven't removed the Tornadus. It can taunt Dondozo. This Tornadus. Okay. I'm going to call that they don't Will-O-Wisp the same slot twice in a row, and I'm going to honestly just Poison Gas again. I could Strange Steam Tornadus, but I'm looking to knock it out with the Flare Blitz if I can anyway. They hit Bleak Wind on both targets in Sun. It does a ton of damage to Koraidon. They Parting Shot. Yeah, they kind of got me here. But here I have potentially a chance. I don't... Are they going to let me just Flare Blitz their Tornadus? I think I have to assume that they will, or I probably lose the game anyway. I think that's what it comes down to. Let's protect Weezing here. They leave Tornadus in, but Zacian is stronger than, or faster than. Okay. Well, the way that game started was pretty hard for me to recover from. Because again, they can taunt. Honestly, maybe I needed Tatsugiri here, not Dondozo. Okay, I think I made a small mistake there, but I'll see if I can remove the They don't taunt. Dondozo gets to rest. It's still an uphill battle, but the burn is gone. I still have my Terra available. They can Parting Shot Dondozo, yes. But I do have the order up. And I'll go for one right now into Incineroar. Or, oh, it's asleep. I should have clicked Sleep Talk. Whoops. Silly me. Well, I'll go for Sleep Talk now. It won't work if they taunt, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing else I can click in this turn that's useful. That'll deny another Rest. I can't go for Rest again anytime soon. Who's coming in? Zacian. Maybe they didn't bring Raging Bolt, but what do they have in the back then? Or Shifu? I don't know. But I'm just gonna... I don't have to Terra Electric here. And in fact, it might be best not to. But I do want to get rid of this Tornadus, so I'm just going to order up it. Okay, they Intimidate Dondozo. I mean, order up boost can bring that back, but obviously I do have to be getting attacks off for that to work. Dondozo being taunted, I can't rest here. They can Fake Out if they want. It might be best actually to order up Incineroar. Try to deny a Will-O-Wisp. They Tailwind a Will-O-Wisp, that makes sense. Probably should have attacked. It doesn't matter. That did so little damage. But the poison damage is adding up. They can taunt Dondozo one more time before Tornadus goes down, but I'll make them prove it because Tornadus drops to poison damage this turn anyway, if they do that. They do. Okay. But I didn't feel like I urgently needed to attack with Dondozo. Both their Pokemon are going down this turn anyway. But they have set this up pretty nicely so that they can win with Zacian, and it is Raging Bolt. And we saw those Draco Meteors doing a lot of damage last game, so not being able to rest is probably just game losing here, but we'll see. I'll play it out for sure. They could miss Draco Meteor. They go for Electro Web. Makes sense. Yeah, but they position this really well. Still taunted. They do miss this play rough. But they hit the Draco Meteor. Dondozo goes down, and I don't think Tatsugiri is saving this one. I mean, hey, I'll give it a shot. Might as well protect for maximum poison damage. A Thunderclap. Play rough. Yeah, Tatsugiri probably just loses next turn, but maybe I can get some accuracy drops. No. Don't even get to attack with it. Okay. So what do I want to do in game 3? Yeah, the Incineroar and Tornadus really made things hard for Dondozo. But I'm not sure what the adjustment is. If it's Flutter Mane Chi-Yu, then they can't fake out Flutter Mane. They also can't fake out Chi-Yu if I Terastallize, but that's a big commitment. I could do Koraidon Flutter Mane. I could do Koraidon Weezing again and just prioritize damage into the Torn. Honestly, I think I'm going to go for that, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But yeah, I'm going to triple down on this mode. Yeah, they can fake out and turn the sun off. I'll just go for Strange. Nah, I'll just go for Poison Gas. Turn 1 this time. And yeah, I want to get what damage I can on the Torn. So I'm down to Dragon Claw and Strange Steam it this turn. No, I'm not. No, too late. I actually think it's okay. I don't like letting Koraidon take the Bleak Wind Storm, but I think if I remove one of these two Pokemon, I can win with Dondozo. So if I land this Strange Steam, it's not a sure thing, but Dondozo then can't be taunted, and it has a real shot to win. There's definitely a chance if I just get rid of Tornadus here. But I'm being left in suspense right now as they make their decision on this parting shot, and then I'll find out whether the Strange Steam connects. Come on, Weezing. They must be running out of time for the switch. Oh, 15 seconds. Okay. It's a Moongus. They brought... Okay, we saw that one coming, right? They brought a Moongus this game. That's not great for Dondozo, but it does at least have Sleep Talk. I could go Tatsugiri here, actually. It has the safety goggles. Does it survive a Bleak Wind Storm, though? I didn't really put bulk on it. I'm not going to do it this turn. I'm going to protect Koraidon. And... I mean, heck it. I'll try again to land that Strange Steam. Redirect. Damage on Torn is still adding up. Do I sack Koraidon? Nope. I go Dondozo. Dondozo will take a hit. I'm sure Dondozo will take a hit. Surely. Just preserve Weezing. Just because I can. They leave the Torn in, so the Torn is going down. It does a lot of damage on the way out. They get Incin. Here's the thing. They can Fake Out and Spore. There's not much I can do about that. Actually, one thing I can do about that is switch Tatsugiri in here. And even if Tatsugiri gets burned, that's not the worst thing, right? And I'll just try to get damage on the Incineroar. But yeah, Tatsugiri has the safety goggle. Never mind. I thought for sure they were going to either Fake Out or Will-O-Wisp there. I was wrong. But the important thing is that Tatsugiri survived the turn. Because now... I guess I bring Dondozo in. I'll use this opportunity to try to kill a Sleep Turn on Weezing. It might matter later. Raging Bolt comes in. Oh, this is actually not good because they can attack Dondozo when it comes on the switch, which is not what I want. That might have... Not switching Weezing out that turn might actually be game losing, but... I feel like it's super telegraphed that I want to switch Dondozo into the Wheezing slot. So what I'm going to do, actually, is switch it into the Tatsugiri slot and click Poison Gas. And I think they'll knock Wheezing out. It's a read, and I need it to work, but if it does, or they have a super safe Electro Web. Of course they do. Oops. Alright, only a madman in this position would still commit the Terror to Dondozo and click Rest, right? Only a madman would do that. Come on, Dondozo. Yes! It worked! Okay, the play last turn didn't work, but this one did. We got Dondozo set up and healthy. Now it just has to do its work. Sleep Talk. And since it's a rest, I know how many turns the sleep will last. They do have the Draco Meteor. They missed that one, which is lucky for me. We roll rest, which is unlucky. They can fake out here. They don't. Draco Meteor does a lot of damage, and they still have 3 Pokemon, so they can still switch the Raging Bolt out. Sleep Talk rolls Earthquake. That's good. Doesn't do amazing damage to Raging Bolt. Dondozo will wake up this turn. Let me think. Do they have a way to really mess up my day? If they switch Raging Bolt out to Incin right now, and then they fake out, and they... No, there's no way they can get fake out and Raging Bolt on at the same... There's no way they can get fake out and -0 Raging Bolt on at the same time, so I think I can order up here. Wait, they can ruin my day with Spore, actually. And they might. I should have clicked Rest there. Nope, they just Pollen Puff their bolts, so I have a chance to rest now. Why does that Draco Meteor do so much at -4? That's unreal. Okay. Well, now it's at -1 million. They can Rage Powder here. If I Flare Blitz, I just lose Koraidon, don't I? It might not be possible to still win this. If there is a way, it does not involve Flare Blitzing. It's Rocky Helmet Amoonguss. That's really bad. I'm going to try to Dragon Claw this slot. And maybe they switch it out. Incin is terrestrialized, so Muddy... Yeah, maybe I catch Incin with this Muddy Water. Oh, I do catch Incin with this Muddy Water. It is not into a weakness, and it's in Sun. But we'll knock Incin out here, but Raging Bolt resets its drops. That's pretty bad. It's really not what I like to see here. I'm going to go Wheezing, get rid of this Intimidate on Koraidon, and just go for a big Draco Meteor into Raging Bolt and see if they let me get away with that. Do not, but it does some damage to Amoonguss. Electro Web takes out Wheezing, but not Tatsugiri. But Tatsugiri is not doing anything for the rest of this game, realistically. And yeah, with Raging Bolt still here, it can just Draco Meteor, and I just have to hope it misses, is what this comes down to. There are still ways I can win this, but it's very unlikely at this point, and they've played well. So, full credit to them for that. It is still possible, but only if I'm very lucky. "15 turns, wow. I feel like I mostly played quick games tonight. Rage Powder. Knock out Amoonguss, take Rocky Helmet. Yeah, they just Electro Web, that's pretty safe. And actually, they can win with Thunderclap now. They could still have missed the Electro Web. It was still possible, but not anymore. And yeah, they played that about as well as they could have, I think. So this loss feels very different from the round 1 loss. I just got outskilled. And this player is still undefeated through 4 rounds, so credit to them. Maybe they'll win the tournament. We'll find out later, but for now, still one more round of Swiss to play. Round 5 might be a win and in. I'm not sure how they do cut these days. We got this Shadow Rider team, double fake out, Whimsicott. Looks like a problem. Good luck, have fun. Okay. No thoughts, just Koraidon, Wheezing, Dondozo, Tatsugiri for game 1. Okay, some thoughts. Yeah, I mean, Fluttermane Shiyu might work pretty well here, but I don't know. They have answers to everything. We'll see how they play game 1 and what I can figure out from that. That's basically it. Fluttermane Shiyu, I think, could be a great game 2 bring. Win or lose. And yeah, Nasty Plot, Calyrex with double Fake Out. Pretty troublesome, but of course Dondozo will ignore the boost at least, if I get it set up. Okay. Incineroar or Shifu lead. I don't know what I expected, but definitely not that. They can fake something out. What does your Shifu have? Mystic Water? What is to stop me from... Well, okay, fake out. They don't have Unseen Fist. I'm going to Protect, actually, and Toxic Spikes. They have a Moongus. Maybe I'll Poison Gas instead of Toxic Spikes this turn. I think they're more likely to fake out Koraidon instead of Weez. Ooh. This could be a good Poison Gas. This could be a good Poison Gas. Nice Poison Gas. Okay. Do they have a Focus Sash on this team? It's on the Raichu. Okay. Can I just Flare Blitz the Calyrex? And protect Weezing? I don't see why not. Okay, it'll be faster than Koraidon, but I don't think it's going to one-shot. Probably trading restricteds there. Yep, they take the KO on Koraidon. But I still have Dondozo in the back. I feel better without my restricted than I think they should without theirs. Probably, right? Closest thing to a restricted Pokemon left here is Dondozo. Maybe? There is an Urshifu. But that Urshifu looks pretty vulnerable. Poisoned. -2 defenses. In front of a Weezing that's still at full health. There's a Moongus. Okay, they brought that. That makes things a little bit trickier. But I think I would protect Dondozo if I could. The number one thing that frustrates me about this team is that the Dondozo doesn't have Protect. I get that it doesn't have room for it, but it really messes me up sometimes. Don't want Dondozo to... It's not the end of the world if Dondozo takes a Spore. I have Sleep Talk. I would just Strange Steam the Urshifu right now if Dondozo had Protect. But instead, I'll switch to Tatsugiri and I'll order up. Okay, it's Incineroar coming in. This one does not have Will-O-Wisp. But, I mean, they can only give Dondozo one status anyway. Order up. Just a little bit of chip. After the Intimidate, but they Spore. Let's see what kind of Sleep Talk fortune I get here. Let's see. They also can Parting Shoot Dondozo, but I mean, pretty soon I'll be able to start clicking Rest. If need be. They're not threatening a ton of damage into Dondozo, except maybe if the Urshifu comes back in. And even then... Yeah, you know. I have a ton of physical bulk on this Dondozo. Probably too much. Probably not enough special bulk, and that's what we've seen in earlier rounds. But what can you do? Run Calcs? Imagine that. Okay, Dondozo will flinch this turn. They crit it with the Amoongus. That's not amazing. I actually think I want to click Rest now because of that crit. It does nothing unless Dondozo wakes up, but this is not a super threatening board position. Unless they just keep critting forever. Okay, Dondozo, I need you to wake up. I need you to wake up and use this Rest. That's all there is to it. I need you to wake up this turn. You got crit twice. I think you owe me this one. I know you play a slower, grindier game plan. Eventually they're going to get a crit, but 2 in a row so quickly is pretty unlucky. But Dondozo, it doesn't matter if you just wake up right now and go right back to... Okay, that third crit is just poetry. I can't even be mad. That's just art. I just lose to Amoongus now. Probably. But let's try not to. I might actually not lose to Amoonguss. This might still be winnable. But you know what? I can't even be mad when they crit Dondozo twice in a row and got max sleep turns, and then, you know, the true artistry of the random chaos of Pokemon, they got that last crit on the last Sludge Bomb. It's a real thing of beauty. If Lysander could see this game, he'd stop trying to blow up the world or whatever. We're taking some time here. Making sure that they're confirming that they can't put Tatsugiri to sleep. It would be nice if they clicked Spore into Tatsugiri. They didn't notice the safety goggles. It is actually, I think, possible to win, because Urshifu doesn't like facing these guys 1v1. I probably need Tatsugiri to land like a monster Draco Meteor onto Amoonguss. The accuracy drop is nice. We take those. But yeah, the most awkward thing here is that Tatsugiri's Draco Meteor is the most significant damage that I'm threatening into Amoonguss at this point. And I think we do just go for it here. Right? I mean, I don't have Unseen Fist. I can actually try to take a turn of poison damage on the Urshifu here, because I can't hit Tatsugiri through Protect with a close combat. It doesn't matter what Weezing does. I click Strange Steam into Urshifu, but it is guaranteed to stay asleep this turn. Do I just Draco the Amoonguss here? It's kind of a wasted Protect if they... No, they still have the Sludge Bomb. Okay. I'm fine with this Protect. Hopefully they attack Tatsugiri, at least this turn. And you know, I won't secretly cancel this video, and I'll definitely upload it, because that this specific Dondozo game needs an audience. Oh, okay, they close combat into Tatsugiri. That was the best thing for me this turn. They also missed the Sludge Bomb into Weezing. That turn couldn't have gone any better. Hopefully it's not too little too late, but it might well be. We'll go for the Draco Meteor into Amoonguss here. Rage Powder. One-shot Tatsugiri with the close combat. And now I don't really have any significant damage into Amoonguss. I can click Protect on Weezing and keep trying to tick down those poison turns on Urshifu. But yeah, I don't think I ever beat Amoonguss at this point. I mean, I'll make them prove it. Actually, I could get like 1,000,000 confusion turns or something. How well do we take this Surging Strikes? Not well enough to take another. So actually I needed to Strange Steam Urshifu this turn. Oh my god, Amoonguss is actually confused. It is still possible to win. It's extremely unlikely. But this might just be the kind of game where it happens. And it starts with a triple Protect, because that's what I need for Urshifu to drop to poison damage. Don't even get the double. Should have Strange Steamed it that one turn. But, okay, we lose game 1. But I'm bringing back the same mode for game 2. I don't care. We're going to give it another go. Chi-Yu Fluttermane, see you in game 3, maybe. If we get to game 3, maybe we'll bring Chi-Yu and Fluttermane to that one, yeah? But we're going to give Dondozo one more shot at redemption. That's the plan here. No way they crit it 3 times in like 4 attacks this game, right? No way that happens again. Watch it be 3 and 3 this time. No way they crit Dondozo again. And again. And again. Koraidon Weezing. Whimsicott and Cineroar this time. They're threatening the Encore, so I think I have to Terra Koraidon, unfortunately, and I'll just Flare Blitz the Whimsicott. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'll go for Toxic Spikes. If they brought Amoonguss again, they can clear it, but... Yeah, well, okay, they can fake out Koraidon, yes, but I could never Protect there because they could Encore it into Protect. And I had to Terra to cover for a Moonblast. Now I try to take out the Whimsicott. They probably won't let me, but, you know, what if they let me? And I'll Poison Gas if, like, Calyrex switches in. Well, if Calyrex switches in, it just gets poisoned by the Toxic Spikes. But if nobody switches in, I can poison some stuff. Or if a Mungus switches in and Calyrex, then I can still poison Calyrex. I don't know. Things can happen. Okay, they locked me into Toxic Spikes with the Encore. It's not the worst thing in the world. I get the second layer. That might even be good for Dondozo. Shenanigans. Maybe. Conceivably. The Calyrex makes this a little bit awkward. Koraidon is in some real danger in front of this thing. Unfortunately, I cannot just attack with Koraidon this turn, which probably means, honestly, that I want to just go hard Dozogiri. At least they don't have Will-O-Wisp on the Incineroar, so I'm not switching in on that. I think I just go hard Dozogiri here. We'll do it this way. It's awkward, but there's not much else to be done. I mean, I could have protected Koraidon to kill a turn of Tailwind, but then Weezing can't protect because it's locked into... Okay, I did at least bait them into attacking the wrong slot with Incineroar. Weezing being locked into that move that it's locked into is an issue. The Astral Barrage is still doing more than a third, so I actually think I just lose to Calyrex. Yeah, I don't have enough special bulk on Dondozo. The one that made top cut at UIC definitely had more. That's what we've learned tonight. I really would say that's lesson number 1 tonight. Do I rest or do I just go down swinging? I think I go down swinging because any damage on Calyrex helps Koraidon in the endgame. So I will click Earthquake. Don't get more damage on Calyrex, but we do get more poison damage, and that means honestly a rest might be worthwhile. Oh, the Tailwind is up. A rest could be worthwhile because it just makes Calyrex sit there for another turn. But no, I'm going to go for Earthquake. They'll either... they shouldn't knock Dondozo out with an Astral Barrage here, so they'll either switch Calyrex out or take a bunch of damage. And either one I think is okay here. Yeah, Dondozo won't take another. But getting the damage on Calyrex is big here. What's their last Pokemon? It's their Shifu. Okay. That's rough because I can't protect in front of it. That doesn't really matter this turn because they don't have Protect on Dondozo, but it could matter, you know, if I want to protect through Calyrex later in the game. But even then, if I bring Weezing in, or Shifu's probably not threatening a one-shot into that, I will click Rest. I'm sure they won't let me pull it off. Nope. But I think Dondozo has done what I needed to do this game. They knock out Tatsugiri with that close combat. I don't love that, but... I think Weezing should be able to beat Urshifu in the endgame, right? Protect Weezing so it doesn't take an Astral Barrage. I'm honestly thinking about... No, Astral Barrage knocks out anything, so I have to protect Koraidon. They'll probably just take it out with a close combat, but... The point is, Calyrex goes down here, and then I should have enough in the endgame to beat Urshifu. If Koraidon survives this turn, I can go for a collision course. If it doesn't, then Weezing should 1v1, so... Yeah, letting Dondozo go down there should be fine because it's probably done enough work here. And the second layer of Toxic Spikes actually was, I think... I haven't done the math, but I think it was pretty helpful because Calyrex has been sitting on the field for a while. And that escalating poison damage has really helped to wear it down, I think. Urshifu attacks into Weezing, and you know what? I forgot about neutralizing gas. They don't all that. I was thinking through that whole turn as if Urshifu would hit through the Protect. Even when you're using the Weezing, if you're not really experienced with it, sometimes you forget what it can do. They knock out Koraidon with an Aqua Jet, and I miss. I miss Strange Steam for like the 18 millionth time in this video. But let's protect. We'll get some more poison damage, and then I don't think they one-shot Wheezing. I really hope they don't one-shot Wheezing. That would be a rough way to lose. Strange Steam. Nah, we're fine. Urshifu goes down. Okay, and that was just game 2. We're still going to game 3. And honestly, I'm open to bringing Dondozo to this one. But I don't think so. I think we do Chi-Yu Fluttermane this game. I think we bring the switch up, but we don't show them right away. Same lead, but more offense in the back to try to overpower things. They can mess this up with Whimsicott, but Whimsicott didn't do that great in game 2, so they might not bring it. They brought it. They led it with Incineroar again. Air Fire, Flare Blitz, Toxic Spikes, Fake Out, Tailwind. Same turn 1 as last game. Can't protect in front of the Whimsicott. The second layer might be less important now that I haven't brought Dondozo. I'll click Poison Gas. Okay, they Encore Wheezing. This is all exactly the same so far, but maybe they have some kind of switch up in the back. I don't think they knocked off the ability shield last game, but okay, they removed the Toxic Spikes, but Wheezing's still locked in. It'll just set more. Amoonguss is Terra Water. I could close combat Incineroar. My other Pokemon can handle Amoonguss, right? They could switch Calyrex into the Incineroar slot. They definitely have that, right? I'll Flare Blitz Amoonguss. They might punish it, but I don't have a better idea in this position. Maybe I could Collision Course Amoonguss, but I don't know. Go big or go home, I guess. The good news is they haven't gotten Calyrex on the field yet, and they only have 1 turn of Tailwind left, and once again I prioritize knocking out the Whimsicott. So Scarf Chi-Yu is very strong in the back, and so is Specs Fluttermane if I get it in Sun, which might itself be tricky timing-wise. But yeah, the Chi-Yu might just win the game. We'll see. That's still a ways off. Okay, they protected Amoonguss. I could have just close combated Incineroar. Oh well. Oh well. I'll go for it this turn, because I think they're going to do something with the Amoonguss slot to not just let it go down. If they switch Calyrex into the Incineroar slot, then well played by them. They got me, but I'm anticipating that they'll like Terra the Amoonguss or something, so I'll just take the KO on Incineroar if I can get it. Let's see. They might be really thinking about this one, and I wouldn't blame them. This team gets some tricky positions sometimes. Definitely a learning curve for me, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really enjoy using this team. And it's nice, you know, in Reg G when I'm not playing super competitively. Did I say close combat? I don't have that. I'm not playing super competitively. I don't have any events probably for the rest of this season. It is nice to find a Reg G team that's just a lot of fun for me. Do I sack Koraidon or do I sack Fluttermane? I think that's a trick question. I don't really think it matters, because if I sack Fluttermane, the purpose of preserving Koraidon would be to be able to set the sun back up, but that doesn't do anything if I don't have Fluttermane. So I might as well sack Koraidon, I think. I'll click Collision Course into Amoonguss in case they protect the Calyrex or something. I'll click Flare Blitz into Calyrex in case they nasty plot. And I'll click Strange Steam into Calyrex just because I can. Okay, fair enough. Rage Powder. Wheezing survives. Wheezing's asleep. Was that the first turn of sleep? Yes, so it didn't really matter what Wheezing did. I'll go Chi-Yu here. I guess I have to click Snarl. It's a little bit awkward. It's a little slow in terms of its damage, but they can't redirect it. And I'll just try to protect Weezing. That does rely on Weezing waking up. Otherwise, Calyrex gets to +2, and it's not a sure thing that Chi-Yu wins this. But Snarl will do a lot of damage still into that double weakness. They can't Terrasilize the Calyrex. And Chi-Yu should be faster with the Choice Scarf. They can put Chi-Yu to sleep. Well, the only thing that could maybe have stopped that was a Dark Pulse flinch. So it wasn't great odds anyway. I'll Snarl and Protect again. Maybe Weezing will wake up. Maybe Chi-Yu will get a one-turn sleep out of this. But yeah, letting Chi-Yu go to sleep there might be game losing. The Calyrex, of course, is still badly poisoned. The poison damage is racking up. Weezing did not get the Protect. That's really bad for me. I lose if Chi-Yu doesn't wake up this turn. The only way I can still win is if Chi-Yu wakes up. And with that in mind, there's no point... Fluttermane doesn't have Protect anyway. The only way I can win is if Chi-Yu wakes up. And with that in mind, we'll just go for Moonblast into Amoonguss. Chi-Yu stays asleep. And Shadow Rider Calyrex shows why it is such a terrifying, restricted Pokemon. GG's to this opponent. There were definitely some ways that this set could have gone differently, but what matters in the end is it didn't. I finished the tournament 2-3. I am definitely not making top cut. I'm very certain of that. So we'll wrap this up here, but you know, the performance is not necessarily what I expected. I'm saying that after a lot of my tournaments these days. Some of them aren't up yet. You'll see what I mean. But this is a really fun team. And if I feel like competing some more, maybe I'll try it out some more. Maybe I'll experiment with some changes to it. I don't think it's very likely that I'll do any of that. I'm not super motivated to compete in Reg G because I definitely will not be going to any events in it. Probably won't be going to any events for quite a while, actually. But yeah, I don't know. There's no big takeaway here. I just had fun tonight. And a quick programming note before we wrap up here. I said that I've had some underwhelming tournaments lately, and you'll see what I mean. A few weeks ago, in back-to-back weeks, Biff Pips Battle Frontier, same host as this tournament tonight, hosted a couple of double restricted tournaments. The very first chance for a number of players, including me, to experiment with 2 restricted Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. I did play both of those tournaments, and I did record them, but I don't know, then I recorded a bunch of other stuff, and now those videos are kind of in danger of getting squeezed out of my release schedule. I think I played at least one of them like in January, and now it's March. So I think what I'm going to do, this is going to go up on Wednesday as a compliment to the first video with this team. And I think, you know, Wednesday is a day I don't usually... I don't have a regular upload slot on Wednesdays in my informal schedule right now, so I think the next 2 Wednesdays is just when I'll release those 2 double restricted tournament videos. Because otherwise, yeah, they might just be squeezed out and never see the light of day, and that would be kind of sad, wouldn't it? So expect a double restricted video next Wednesday, and then one more the Wednesday after that. And watch me get frustrated in tournaments a little bit more. Not that I didn't enjoy this one, because I definitely did.